Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is part of the Altenew September 2019 release. They're releasing a brand new set of stamps, dies and stencils, and I'm gonna use actually the new Faceted Stars Stamp Set, and this is a great background building stamp, and I'm gonna use it to create a layout in my Life Crafted album, which is my traveler's notebook from Citrus to Skits. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna emboss the image. I'm gonna make it a consecutive panel, so that means I'm gonna stamp the image twice on a piece of paper. I want to make sure that I create a strip of paper that is wider than 5 inches by 8 1/4, which is the size of my Life Crafted layout. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just gonna use my stamping platform, just because I need to stamp, I need a big surface to be able to stamp it, and I'm gonna stamp it twice. And I'm using sorry, allergies are really bad at this time of the year for me. My apologies. So what I'm going to use is actually I'm using Altenew embossing ink, and also the clear powder, the embossing powder, to create my little background. And once I've stamped it twice, and I am blessed, I'm going to say, to have a platform, but if you don't have it and you don't have a big block to house the image, you use the packaging and just kind of press the paper a little bit with a little bit of pressure, so you get the impression. Just be careful. I know it's quite a big of a stamp. So all I'm doing right now is after I embossed it, I'm gonna use the inks, and for this I am using the Lapis Lazuli Stamp Set. I want to stay in the tones of blue. I pick up the idea for the color of the background from one of the papers in the Live Your Dream collection. It has these pink flowers with this really nice, I'm going to say kind of corn blue leaves. So I'm going to pick up those tones. I want to stay in the middle of the blues of this set. And what I'm going to do is I'm using my Bicky Boutin stencil brush just to add the ink. I'm going to say a soft ombre effect on the page. So I'm gonna use the colors, gonna start from light to dark, and I'm hoping that the transition is gonna show. It's like I said, it's not a really defined ombre, so it's not like you can see a lot of the color differentiation. There's a little bit of difference between the colors, but not much, and I'm okay with that. I just wanted to bring color, and the beauty of having embossed the image is that the ink only gets deposited in the pockets that the embossing place, and the raised area of the embossing does not pick up the ink, which is great. So it saves me a step. But regardless, I'm gonna set it aside to dry completely. I want the ink to settle before I cut it. Once the ink completely dried, I'm gonna cut my paper so it fits 8 1/4 by 5 inches wide. And once I have that, I am actually gonna save the piece of paper, like the leftover from the embossed area, and also the piece of paper that I added my ink on, because if you look at it, the edge where I added the ink, it actually created like a soft shadow on the paper, and I'm gonna take advantage of that little strip to kind of elongate the design on the left hand side of my layout. Now that I have that in place, I am bringing a picture. That's my uncle and my little goddaughter, and I call my uncle Dad because he pretty much brought me up. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna place their picture on the top left corner of the layout, and then I'm gonna fussy cut the paper that I was talking to you about, and this is from the Live Your Dream collection. I'm gonna fussy cut a few of the flowers, quite a few of the leaves, because I want to bring that tone into the layout, and I love the color. This is probably one of my favorite papers from that collection, and I only have one more paper left, and I don't want to even touch it. But you know what, pretty paper has to get used to. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fussy cut some of the florals. I'm gonna go off camera to do that, and then I'm gonna come back to build the layer, and it's gonna be a very simple layer. I'm gonna use the Live Your Dream collection to actually embellish this, and I found this big heart and the chipboard set, and I'm gonna use it to house my title there. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna place it on, I'm gonna go for a diagonal design. So I'm gonna place my title on the bottom right corner of the layout. But before I do that, I'm gonna set the picture in place, and I'm gonna add a few of the florals, kind of to help me define the diagonal design. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna add some of the florals to the top left corner of the picture, and also a few of the florals to the bottom right corner of the picture. That's gonna kind of create a diagonal. I am gonna add a few stickers and embellishments from my stash to this area just to bring some sentiment to the page. Once I have that in place, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the title. And the first thing I'm gonna do is, like I said, I know I'm gonna set my title on the bottom right corner of the layer on the other side of the page, and I wanna add like a cluster of the same flowers around it. There's a lot of blue on this side of the page, but you're gonna see that actually the heart sounds really nice. That's what dimension does to a layout. It actually props it from the page, so makes it be the first thing that pops to your eyes. So I'm gonna use some of the florals again. I'm gonna kind of continue a soft diagonal design, but I'm gonna just create a small cluster at the bottom of the heart, at the bottom right, and also a few leaves and flowers kind of coming up from the top left corner of the heart. Now I am gonna use the same stamp set. The sentiment in this Faceted Stars Stamp Set actually really nice. So I'm gonna use one that says it's wonderful. It talks about there's various sentiments, but some of them are more holiday oriented. So I'm gonna use the one that says wonderful, and I'm gonna actually add the "you are wonderful" to the heart using the black obsidian ink, and that's gonna be my title. After that, like I mentioned before, I do add a few stickers to the clusters on the pictures just because I want to bring some sentiment, and these are from my stash. They're actually from the Pink Paisley, Indigo, and Ivy collection. They have pretty much the same tones of blue. After that, I'm gonna add my lines of journal right underneath the bottom right cluster on the picture. Perfect area. I have a lot of white space, and I'm gonna talk about how much I love my uncle, how much I love seeing them with my goddaughters, which are his granddaughters but my goddaughters, and that's about it. I'm gonna set it in my little album and it's ready to go. I love how this turned out. This was so easy to put together. Like I said, it took me, I'm gonna say less, I had 35 minutes of footage, so it took me that long. And I love how this turned out. It was super simple. I love the details. I love the color, the combination of the pink, the navy, the blue, the stars on the background. It's great. Make sure you check this the stamps. This stamp set is one that you can not only use for scrapbooking, but it'd be perfect to create backgrounds for your cards, especially if you're doing holiday cards. It's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, if you have any questions on how this came together or about any of the Altenew products, don't hesitate to contact me. Hop onto my blog so you can join in the blog hub and have the chance to win gift certificates to the Altenew store. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys, and I hope to see you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.